Welcome to the San Francisco Center for Spiritual Living. It is so wonderful to see all this. I kind of feel like Miss Nancy. I'm like, we're all in our places with sunshiny faces. Good morning to you. Please have a good day. You don't know anything about that. See, she Miss Nancy, what's that? There's just some advantages to being around in the 50s that I just can't explain to you. They're few, but there are some. Welcome back to the San Francisco Center for Spiritual Living. It's always a great pleasure. We do this every week. Please repeat after me. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can make a difference in the world. Indeed, that's all that ever has. That's Margaret Mead. I got to tell you, that's like my motto, my slogan. I just, because I'm very clear, I'm a difference maker. Okay. And that's what this is about, recognizing that just by being who you are, even if you're not being who you are, if you're trying to be somebody else, you yourself trying to be somebody else, you cannot stop being who you are. And who you are makes a difference, because you know what? There was a cartoon when I was a boy, and I just loved it so much. One of those single panel cartoons. And this little boy, he's like the mischievous boy. And it says, I know I'm special. You guys know this one? You don't know? Come on. Yeah, I know I'm special because God don't make no junk. That's right. One person's trash is another person's treasure. But the truth is, we are both trash and treasure to ourselves, depending on how we want to live our lives. And oftentimes we don't understand that we actually have a choice on how we live our lives. And so everybody in this room recognizes one thing: you have a choice. See, you had a choice to stay in bed. You had a chance, and the bed was really, really comfortable this morning. I want you to know. I was like, really? Are you sure? Oh, man. And I know I can't get those extra minutes, because those extra minutes show up on the other end bad. So I'm like, man, I got to get up, man. I got to get up, man. No, can't be. Is that? No. Just stay focused here. So, thoughtful and committed citizens. A citizen is someone who dwells within. Yes. Within what? Within the heart of God, within the mind of God, within the presence of God, within the city of God. Each of us is a citizen, or, you know what, I like to think of myself. Dr. Holmes says the manifest universe is the body of God. It is a logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of spirit. And I love seeing myself, since I know that I'm part of the manifest universe. And if the manifest universe is the body of God, you know what I'm saying? There's just something divine about me. Now, I'm not saying it's not divine about everybody else, but I can't control how other people see themselves. One of the things that I learned in my first year of studies is that, you know what? You're one with God. And so is everybody else. That's the, I like to say the one with God is the jelly beans of consciousness. Everybody else are the supplements of consciousness. And I was having difficulty with that. But what I've come to realize is that we're all part of the one, aspects of the one, even better than that. And that makes me feel special. Not more special, but oftentimes people who don't feel special have issues with people who do feel special, because they think you're more special than them. But the truth is, you just don't know how special you are. Otherwise, you'd be special like me. Edward Viljoen, a preacher, the minister in, I think in Santa Rosa, he has a beautiful quote I love. He says, if you put me on a pedestal, please come up and join me. Elevate yourself. This week, we're talking about self-care, which is about elevating yourself. Recognizing that there's no shame. I'm afraid I'm gonna have too much fun with this. I have a high tolerance for pleasure. So this self-care thing, this is right in my wheelhouse, baby. I should be able to park this, but this should not be hard. You know, there's no shame in showing yourself a good time. It just isn't. As a matter of fact, if you're going to talk about shame, it's going to be about not honoring who you really are, who we really are, who I really am. It's all about, who's it all about? Me. Okay. It must be about silence. So what's it all about? Me. All right. Who believes that? Okay. That's right. Oh, man. Self-care. Why is self-care important? You know, I'm not going to do this by myself. I'm not doing that anymore. It's from now on, we're doing this. I'm not, no, this is not, no. But you say, Ron? You don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of us. We see some of us don't give a hoot about taking care of others. I didn't repeat it? Okay. He said, if you can't take care of yourself, wow, I'm tripping because I sure thought I said that. Then you can't take care of other people. Okay? It's like, well, why do I want to take care of other people? I've been taking care of other people my whole life. I had to take care of my sisters. My grandmother got old. And God, see, I had to take care of her. You know, I had to take care of babies. I've been taking care of, you know, you get to a certain point. Not only do I not want to take care of people, I'm comfortable not even being around people. So some of us we like to just remove ourselves. My spiritual practice is to be gone. I like to absent myself and just be still. It's hard to lure me in with, well, if you don't take care of yourself, you take. Is that my punishment? I can live with that. But you're correct. It is true. It just universally, it has. So, one more person. Yes.
Kind of flip that model, say, by taking care of myself.
Oh.
There you go.
Somebody been to, what's that? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I didn't make it up. I can't take the credit for it. It's the gospel. By taking care of yourself, you are taking care. First of all, by taking care of yourself, you're not a strain on anybody else. They don't have to pull your weight. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. If you're feeling bad, you came in here with that. Okay? But you don't have to live with it. Nobody's responsible for the way you feel, no matter what they've done. See, this is why, you know, I have a lot of quotes. I love Viktor Frankl. The last human dignity is your power to choose. That's the one thing people can't take away from you. Even if you give up your power of choice, you chose to give it up. You can't get out of being. You can't get out of choosing. Like a shark got to swim all the time. I found that tuna like that too. You have to always choose. See, I chose to forget that in the moment right there. I do these little things for your benefit, for your edification. I realize if I paused right there, you'd be hanging on every edge. And then it would pop up in you. And I told you, it's interactive here. We're doing this. I'm sanctified. I come out to Pentecostal church. We participate. All right, self-care. Who's up for some self-care? Yeah. All right. One of the things I have to watch out for, because when I'm self-care, and my wife, dear wife, Pranjali, she loves to say, ice cream is living proof that there is a God. And all I can say is I have prayed to that altar many a night. that vanilla Swiss almond Haagen-Dazs. I had to have a pint a day as I took care of myself. But I want to draw your attention to something I saw in America's Got Talent. Because there's a woman there. Have you heard of Nightbird? Have you heard this woman, Nightbird? Talk about self-care. I'm gonna let you listen. We'll have a conversation about it later. So it's about 5 minutes, which means I can't talk that long. But I thought this was so, man, if this doesn't make you cry, we're gonna go get your tear ducts. I wanted to show the video, but technology.
My name's Jane. When I sing, I go by Nightbird.
Oh, that's nice.
Nightbird?
That's right.
Did you sing? Do you sing for a living?
Not recently.
Where are you from?
I'm from Zanesville, Ohio.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 30.
30 years old. And the dream is to be a singer. What are you going to be singing for us tonight?
I'm singing an original song called It's Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It is. It's okay.
It's okay.
What is It's okay about?
It's Okay is the story of the last year of my life.
All right. And who are you here with?
I'm here by myself.
It's okay. And what do you do for a living?
I have not been working for quite a few years. I've been dealing with cancer.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
Can I ask you a question? How are you now?
Last time I checked, I had some cancer in my lungs, my spine, and my liver.
Wow.
So you're not okay.
Well, not in every way, no.
You got a beautiful smile and a beautiful glow, and
You do.
nobody would know.
Thank you. It's important that everyone knows I'm so much more than the bad things that happen to me.
Yes.
Sing for us.
I moved to California in the summertime. I changed my name thinking that it would change my mind. I thought that all my problems, they would stay behind. I was a stick of dynamite and it just was a matter of time, yeah. Oh, dang, oh my, now I can't hold. Said I knew myself, but I guess I lied. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I wrote 100 pages, but I burned them all. Yeah, I burned them all. I blow through yellow lights and don't look back at all. I don't look back at all. Oh, dang, oh my, now I can't hide. Said I knew what I wanted, but I guess I lied. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. If you're lost, we're all a little lost, and it's alright. It's alright to be lost sometimes.
Wow.
There's a quote at the end of this that I'm trying to remember how they set it up. They're asking about her life and how she's been managing to carry on. And she goes,
It's funny because singers come on and I think about
Oh, you're gonna get it
authenticity.
right.
That, you know, when you feel it, when it moves you, that felt like the most authentic thing I have heard this season.
It was powerful. It was heartfelt, and I think you're amazing.
You gave me chills. I mean, your voice is so beautiful to listen to. It was beautiful all the way around.
Your voice is stunning. Absolutely stunning. And I totally agree with what Howie said, you know, about authenticity. There was something about that song after the way you just almost casually told us what you're going through. And, you know,
You can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy.
you can't wait until life isn't hard anymore to be happy. You can't wait to be happy at all. As a matter of fact, if we're wise, we blow past happy because happy is contingent. It's an emotion. Happy is dependent upon circumstances. But there's a joy that is consistent when you're a citizen of the Most High. There's a joy that's consistent when you dwell in the city of the Most High indwelling and self-existent one. There's a fire kindled by joy that flames leap with gratitude. When you recognize the truth of who you are, as I recognize the truth of who I am, and when that fountain is flowing, gratitude is what's on my lips at all times. Self-care starts with gratitude. Let me tell you something. This message is always for me when I'm talking about gratitude. God is whooping me good with his gratitude stick. I'm going to get it this time around. I don't know what happened last time, but I know what's happening this time. And if I was rougher then than I am now, I turned 70 on the 28th. And I'm only beginning to scratch the surface of what gratitude really is. And it's not like I haven't been grateful in my life. I've been grateful in my life. I thought I was grateful enough. But see, as it comes out of my mouth, I see how ridiculous that sounds. I'm grateful enough. How much more grateful do you expect me to be? I mean, just gee whiz, man, how much gratitude does a man have to have before he can be appreciated for the gratitude that he has? I'm laughing at myself, but Meredith has to turn back to that cracking but facking. It's the truth. And I'm being opened to, I started to say layers, but it's like other worlds. Self-care is a daily practice. Minute by minute, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, going out and doing something, going to a conference is not self-care. Because at the conference, we can pay so much attention to everything else that's going on that we don't nurture ourselves. So, brother, Sean, you don't even know how important it is, Sean. I got his name right. Just give me some. I want mine. I want mine. Everybody know how hard it was for me to call Sean's name the first time. When I go to, Dr. Michael, he's from Agape. Thank you for being with us. And there's always self-care stuff going on. You get a massage, you can get all these different healing modalities. There's stuff I haven't even heard of before. They're doing it there. I don't remember what it was, but there's all kinds of stuff that you're doing because they know that just going to workshops and listening to speakers is not going to nurture your soul. That stimulates your intellect. That gets you to thinking. See, science of mind, religious science, new thought is a thinking person's spirituality. I'd say religion, but spirituality, just call it that, okay? People who like to think, people who ask questions, people that don't want to believe what they're told. Because if we believe what we're told, we'd be doing what they raised us to be, yes? But that wasn't enough for us. You know why? I got you. We're ungrateful. I wasn't grateful for that. I didn't appreciate it because my mind could poke holes through it, you see? New thought, religious science, this concept of God being all in, through, and as all being is everything. I tried my best to break the code. I think I'm pretty smart, man. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm pretty smart. It's the only thing I ever found I couldn't break. The concept of oneness is unbreakable. It's unshakable. It's unfathomable. It is. And so I'm like, man, this is, so let me bow to this. I wasn't bound to nothing but myself up until that point. But then I found oneness. The concept that everything is in relationship to everything else, and that relationship itself is a relationship. I like to believe that God itself, himself or herself, is relationship. And I say that because everything in the universe is in relationship with something else. And if everything in the universe is in a relationship with something else, then that means relationships must really be special. Relationships are primary. Relationships is what causes existence to be. We know we are. What's that? Ubuntu? I am because you are. Otherwise, I don't even understand what my purpose is. And purpose is what Nightbird is talking about. Nightbird has joy because she understands that she can't wait for everything to be perfect. See, when you get that diagnosis, no matter what you feel about your odds, and she said, well, they say I have a 2% chance. You know what she said to that? Come on, you got to know intuitively. What did she say when they?
She said, that's not zero.
She said it's not zero, but I was thinking, what you picked it out. That's what she said, it's not zero.
And she said, And I wish people knew how amazing 2% is.
Oh, yes. How about that for gratitude? She said, it's not, what did she say again?
It's not zero.
It's not zero. And I wish people knew how amazing 2% is. Her life dreams to be a singer. You know what? This woman's been downloaded. She's got millions of downloads now. She passed away before. They gave her the golden buzzer. She went straight to the finale. She passed away before the finale. Didn't make it. Yes, she did. She got on the stage in front of God and everybody and sang her music because she was aware how amazing the 2% she had was. Man, just 2%. Thank you, Gene. You can come down front if you want. Just 2%. Yeah. I heard Muata Rasuli said, I'm taking this 2%. I've been waiting long enough. It ain't going to be perfect. She said, it's okay to be right where you are, just as you are. That's okay. And okay means it's all right. That means it'll do. That means it's not everything I want, but I can work with this. Yeah. Some chatter stuff. Get out of there, buddy. I can work with this. What are you working with? Anybody working with more than 2%? Ron says, oh God, yeah. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's like more than 2. Because self-care is an inside job. Self-care happens every day. We have to have a daily practice besides waking up. And some of us don't even wake up, we just roll over. There are a lot of different things we know. I went head first into New Thought religious science because I was drowning. I was drowning. I was losing it. I hear that old Christian song. I know y'all, but it's like, I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry. From the waters lifted me, now safe am I. Love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, oh, love lifted me. Love lifted me when nothing else could help. I walked into the rooms and they start talking about being one with God. I know it's so broken, but there was something, maybe it was just the 2% I have. Maybe I only had 1. I'd just been in, I was coming out of my bad butt Billy phase, okay? I realized I don't belong on the streets by now. And I'm not hanging out with those people anymore, but I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have any people. I tried to join the revolution. That didn't work. It was competing with consciousness. You talked about the revolution is primary. No, struggle is primary. That was the words. Struggle is primary. The struggle is primary. Well, my dear sainted mother, Reverend Eloise, she hated me because, language is important. Struggle is primary. I'm signing up for struggle. You hear me there? If the struggle is primary, then the primary thing for me to do is struggle. She said, boy, why you keep saying that? I said, well, because, we're trying to organize the masses and, it's hard to organize the masses. Organize the masses is a struggle. So that's why we say the struggle is primary. I felt good about that. It was pretty good logic there. But I'm talking to my mom, so you know how that went. She said, boy, if you're trying to organize, if that's really what you want, why don't you say organization is primary? The light bulb came in. I always go with the highest conscious in the room. What did I say? Always what?
The highest consciousness in the room.
Never assume it's you. But I recognize the higher consciousness right away. I can't wait to get back to my party meetings. Somebody says the struggle is primary. I said, wait, brothers and sisters. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to revolutionize the revolution. We don't want to talk about let's talk about organizations. It was still quiet. You couldn't hear a thing. People were dumb. They didn't know what to say. We're going to say organization is primary. No, we want to organize. After about 30 or 40 seconds, somebody said in the back, yeah, brother, but organization is a struggle. And that's why we say the struggle is primary. And see, I knew then, okay, I can't stay here. You see, sometimes you outgrow your house. Maybe the reason you got thrown out is because you didn't know when to leave. It's happened to me lots of times. And that's the truth. Sometimes we're holding, you know, when I had my job before I became a full-time minister, I wanted to be a full-time minister so bad. I got a great job. I mean, it's not the great you pay for the Bay Area, but it's pretty good for what I'm trying to do. I'm working on the Presidio. I'm driving around in a panel truck. I got tools. I'm going to people's homes. I'm fixing it. The beach is there. The ocean's there. The trees are there. I mean, this is a beautiful, I'm working in a garden. I'm loving this place. I don't want to leave. I started asking God, see, I got a daily practice because now and every day I would say, push me, Lord. I'm afraid to jump. Push me. See, it takes a leap of faith to be who you are. Because we have to stop telling the lies we've been developing about ourselves. And I'm going to tell you what the lie you've been saying about yourself is. Everything. Everything we do to identify ourselves besides divine is a lie. It's not a lie that's like doing something bad to anybody, except it limits who we are. Every time I say, I'm a black man, which I consider myself to be African black, but I recognize the consciousness around that term carries a certain vibration that when I identify with it, I'm saying, this is also me. All the notes in this concerto belong to me because I named myself after this concerto. Are you with me on this so far? If I'm a woman, if I'm black, if I'm gay, if I'm straight, if I'm tall, if I'm short, if I'm bald, whatever we're saying about ourselves is just one teeny tiny facet in the gemstone of consciousness. Are you with me so far? But you know, the people who raised us may not have understood this about themselves. And so they couldn't teach it to us. So we can stop blaming them. As a matter of fact, blaming your parents is a lie. Your parents' only job is to keep you alive until you can keep yourself alive. And if you're alive enough to complain about what they did their job. Anything that's happening now is on you. And you can hide behind what they did to me. But I bet you everybody, how many people in here have what they did to me stories and who they are? Okay? That's a lot of us. What they did to me.
On your job when you said push me.
Okay, thank you. There's no they, people. There's only oneness. Everybody in your life showed up by divine invitation. Now, some horrible things happen to people. Horrendous things happen to people. Bad things happen to me. But I've seen a lot of stuff. And I'm not blaming victim here. I'm not calling anybody victim or villain. What I'm saying is, when you have a great destiny, the transformation it takes to achieve that destiny requires a hot fire. Fire's transformation. What's transformation? Fire. If you're in a hot fire, you gathered the wood, you found all the grievances necessary to build this fire. Yes? Yes. Let me talk about myself. I'm not talking about, I built this fire. This guy, what's his name? He has a beautiful book. I'm trying to remember his name, but the title of the book says, "The bed was on fire when I laid down on it." But I can only say, I was on fire when I found this bed. I didn't start the fire. I was just on fire. And I was on fire because I was in conflict with the lies I've been telling about myself. See, my dad's a military, veteran, combat veteran, world decorated hero. He had some other issues too, but those are some of the facets in his gemstone. And he hung out on Sacramento Street in Berkeley, right off of Ashby, which was then called Skid Row, because he also drank a bit, because the war got to him. So I grew up going down on the street to talk to my dad, and he was around these desperado dudes, man. Guys, one guy's name was Po Devil. Now that's the name for you. Po Devil. They called him that all the time, Po Devil. They also were some really good names, but that was one of my favorite. But these guys looked dangerous to me growing up. So I felt in order for me to be a man, I had to be able to look them in the eye without fear, because that's part of what being a man is. That's kind of like a primary ingredient. So now I'm going down the street, I'm thinking to my dad one day, man, if you'd have been a rocket scientist, your friends would be rocket scientists, and I'd be hanging out with rocket scientists, and I'd be a rocket scientist. See how I'm blaming him for my lack of initiative? I'll wager that 90% of the rocket scientists' dads probably weren't rocket scientists. So I'm getting back to, say it.
What happened when you said, God pushed me, Lord pushed me?
Oh man,
on
what
your
happened?
job?
If you want rapid growth, see, I asked for exponential growth. That's what I wanted because I felt like I was so low. If I didn't grow exponentially, I would never catch up. Do you see the competitive competition? But see, I asked for it. Don't ask for something you're not willing to go through. Because see, now, in order for me to get to that from where I'm at, it's going to take a hot fire. Yes? So everything that happened since I made that request, because see, this is what happened after I made it. I opened my eyes. I'm at a workshop, I open my eyes. I'm waiting for this sudden download where I'm exponentially wiser. It didn't happen that way. But every day I applied consciousness. I'm exponentially wiser now. 30 years later, I didn't say I want exponential growth right now. And I'm kind of glad I didn't. I'd have just burst into flames. It's okay to be where you are right now. Don't blame yourself because you think you should be more. As a matter of fact, just let go of should entirely. Should is about the biggest way I know to condemn yourself forever. We like to say, don't should on yourself. Just don't do it. So I missed, what is it?
You're just not finishing it.
I
don't want
no,
to
this
keep
happens to me.
reminding you.
No,
just looking
thank
over
you.
here, so
She's
I'm
in the
like,
front row to remind me of these things. Okay? No, wait. You're
I
like,
want to keep saying it. I don't want to keep saying it.
Okay, I'll come back. But I know a minister, she actually has cue cards. Okay. She is the person in the front row that holds
I
up
just
cards
feel
and
like
you're
I'm
on this point.
interrupting your
Okay,
flow.
come back to this point. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I turned it into a little song. Push me, Lord, I'm afraid to jump. Push me, Lord, push me, Lord, push me, Lord. I'm singing this to myself all day. Push. You turn something into a song, it gets into your psyche. Your intellect goes to the rhythm and it goes right. This is why advertisers always do things with jingles. Well, as it turns out, the Presidio, I was working on the Presidio of San Francisco. Many of you know it is a beautiful spot. And it included Fort Baker across the bridge. Man, I'm up by the lighthouse. I'm just, oh man. They shut down the Presidio. Budget cuts killed the Presidio. They shut down everybody. They come to personnel. We're going to try to find everybody a job. Everybody's rushing up there trying to get a job because the whole Presidio is closed. He said, Rasuli, you're going to go. What did they tell you when you went? I haven't been there. You better hurry up. All the jobs will be gone. I already knew. You see, I'm like Jonah in the boat. I already know why the Presidio is closing. Now, he said, well, you think they closed the whole Presidio just because of you? I don't know if it was just because of me, but I had a hand in it. I'm not trying to claim full credit because I asked God, I said, well, God, I said, push me. You didn't have to fire everybody. What the heck? God came back and said, you wouldn't let go of the branch. So I cut down the tree. What's for you is for you, and you're not going to get out of it. And it's okay to stall it for a while, but understand that you're always bigger than your circumstance. You're always more powerful than what's going on around you. Whatever's going on out here, what Emerson said, what lay before us and what lay behind us are tiny matters compared to what lays within us. And so whatever's going on in our lives, what we want to do is be able to get still long enough to go to that place that Patrick was talking about, that place in the heart. If you're here for the meditation, you didn't check it out on because he talks about, I don't even know how to get where he was at, but he took us on a journey into our heart. And when he finished it, how did you finish that? Remember to come back. How did I just
if you want to come back to this moment at any point today or in the week ahead, just say to yourself, God is right here in my heart.
If you want to come back to this place
Anytime.
anytime today or some other time, just say to yourself, God is right here in my heart. You can't change the past. You can't change what happened to you unless you're willing to change what happened to you. What does that mean? That means what happened to you didn't happen to you at all. What happened to you is happening to you. What happened to me is happening to me. As long as I continue to tell the story the same way, then I'm reaffirming the trauma in my body. My body's registering the same trauma. The psychologists tell me that we don't even remember what happened. We just remember what we said the last time we said it. Well, that's a scary thought. That means if I get it wrong, then all subsequent conversation about it is going to be wrong. Remember that telephone game where you, now what's the one where you whisper in somebody's ear and they whisper, by the time it comes around, it's a completely different thing. So here we are clinging to a painful past. Now, painful past is okay. You see, it's okay because it's only true as long as you say it is. So you can tell a different story. You can put a new ending on it. Yes, I talked about this last week. Yes, I talked about it the week before. It reminded me of the preacher. It was his first day on the job, and he says, repent. Yeah, it was a good talk, preacher. Next Sunday, repent. And he said that last week, didn't he? Oh, good talk, preacher. Third Sunday, repent. Ralph, you said the same thing 3 weeks ago. That's right. And as soon as you do that, I'll tell you step 2.
Yeah.
Gratitude. I'm going to keep saying gratitude. I'm going to keep saying gratitude because gratitude is the love that's lifting me. Gratitude helps me to explore my unexplored self. Gratitude has me reaping benefits and rewards from places I condemn to hell. You know what I'm talking about? I'm never going to go back there again. I'm never going to speak to these people again. I hope they die. I hope they rot in hell. I'm never going to do this. I've crossed them. I got a thing I do. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. But I used to just draw in my mentally, just there's a line through your name. No, you're off my Christmas list. I don't wish you any harm, but no gifts from me. But I've grown from that place. Because every place I'm not grateful, every unforgiveness is acrid or arid territory that I cannot farm, I cannot mine, I cannot grow, I cannot develop, I cannot use as a resource. And so now I'm wondering why I don't have enough, and I don't have enough because I've discarded 65% of myself in unforgiveness.
Forgiveness is self-care.
And forgiveness is self-care.
Yes, it is.
Forgiveness is self-care. Unforgiveness is unself-care. Means I don't really feel like being well right now. I'll just drink some more of this poison. Maybe they'll die. Self-care. There's so many different things. You know, I love Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian mystical system. If you don't know it, check it out. Do it every day. Do the 4 agreements every day. Take some classes. Gratitude journal every day. This is what I'm forming today. It just came to me. I'm sorry I haven't done it yet, but it's happening. If you want to be a part of it, let me know. I'm good because I learned it from Jeff. What's Talia's friend's name? Matt's the one who's in the steps. Yes. Yeah. Matt shared this with this young guy. Was he 22 years old? Everybody's a teacher. Everybody's a student. He's like, and I've been hearing this since I first started studying, but I'm ungrateful, you see. I have issues with this. And said, keep a gratitude journal. Yeah. Keep a gratitude journal. Yeah. Keep a gratitude. Yeah. Finally, look at this guy coming. He's 22 years old. And he's been going through some stuff. And he keeps a gratitude journal and sends the gratitude. He sends them out to different people. They share their gratitude list every day. I said, well, I want in on that. I want in on that. Put me in that club. I would love to start that here. If you're inclined, we can just start we just look this way. It doesn't have to be a lot. As a matter of fact, we're going to do that exercise. Everybody's going to stand up and tell me something they're grateful for right now. Everybody. I don't care who you are. You can start in the back, or the front, random. I don't care. But okay. Wonderful. All right. Okay. Keep going. Keep it coming. All right, this community, I love it. My mom, that's a good, because you're always safe with that one. You know, my mom was telling me when she was a child, they had to testify every week. You had to say something. Okay, you couldn't just sit there and not have a gratitude. So they had this thing, I'm grateful for life, health, and strength, a reasonable, and the use of my limbs, and a reasonable portion of a sound mind. And they would just say a reasonable portion of a sound mind. That's all, just 2%. Okay, just get that 2%. Okay, you know, no, come on, keep a healthy body. What? His health. Where's his health? Insulin. Yes, got that right. Oh, celebration. Yes. What you got, Craig? Well, that's something to be grateful for. Private moment. Hey, no, we all understand the gratitude behind the private moment. That's all I got to say about that. It's universal. Love.
Yes.
His physical body. See, that's what I like about Eric. He's the only one here more vain than me. And Eric, that takes some doing, brother. You don't have to be arrogant about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's humble with it. He's humbly.
Yeah, he is.
He's humble. You know, he doesn't think he's prettier than you. He just knows he's pretty. Am I lying?
It's pretty.
Yes. Divine protection. You better know it. You better know it. Sometimes that's the only protection we ever have, but sometimes it's very, very clear. I want commitment to be involved in spiritual involvement. Correct. Yes, indeed. Okay. Commitment to consciousness. That's what got me here. See, when you've been as low as you can get, and I was as low as I could get. Okay, I was as low as I could get. I don't want to think I could get lower than that. There's only one way up when you're not there. There's your gratitude right there. If you're on the floor, there's only one way up. Give me 3 more people. The natural world. The natural world. Dos más.
Loving embrace of divine grace.
Loving embrace of divine grace. Absolutely.
Yeah.
People's love. Oh, Lord, tell somebody. The children. Yeah. What's that? A fish?
A fish named Lisa.
Or a goldfish. Okay.
Named Lisa?
No, Lisa. You know, now that might be the very first time in history a goldfish has been gratituded. That's pretty cool right there, huh? You saw it here first, folks. No one else was here but you. You know who was in the room when it happened.
Her goldfish.
Yes. Oh, no. My ability to feel. Yeah, man. See, there's always somebody going to put some stuff in. They're going to take you. Thank you. Obviously, my heart needed to be stretched just a little bit wider. I'm grateful for my ability to feel. Man, those words never came out of my mouth before. Thank you for the stretch. Fire's getting hot. Anybody feeling transformation? Yes. Family. Okay, it's getting hotter. The Great Bay Area. Okay, that's safe for me. All right. My brain. Oh, yes. I'm grateful for surrender, too. I'm so grateful for surrender. I'm grateful that I finally figured out how to get out of the way. And I didn't know how to get all the way out, but it's like it's a constant adjustment. Oh, I'm in the way again. Oh, I'm in the way again. Oh, I'm in the way again. It's just be willing to get out the way at all, under any circumstance. Don't defend yourself. It's self-care. Because defending yourself means one thing, you're in a fight. And if you don't want to be in a fight, stop defending yourself. I hope so. I said, stop defending yourself. Because if you defend yourself, if I defend myself, it means I'm in a fight. From what do I need defense if I'm not being attacked? I only defend myself. You can't defend on the offense. Okay, they say the best defense is a good offense. They say defense wins championships. They have a lot of little things to go back and forth with this, but one thing is clear. If I'm in a defensive posture, it means I expect trouble. I expect you to keep acting stupid. I'm gonna have to defend myself. Ooh,
Want to repeat that?
Eric said it's also the first admission of guilt. People have been telling me that my whole life, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. There's got to be another answer besides that. First admission of guilt. Otherwise, why do you have to finish? Because if you know, then I don't have to say anything. I practice. My practice, I'm not going to say something 3 times in a row. The first time is information. The second time, well, that's clarity. You see, if you understood me properly, you'd be agreeing with me right now. The mere fact that you're not agreeing with me, obviously I need to explain it to you slower and maybe use smaller words so you'll get it. But if I have to say it the 3rd time, I'm trying to win. I'm not only in the fight, I'm determined to beat you up. Okay? No. It's time to win. You listen to me, Linda. Listen to me. It's a daily practice. You can forgive the same person every day over and over again. You don't have to forgive the biggest bear in the closet. Start with the smallest one. Somebody bumped into you. When I first came to San Francisco, I couldn't believe it. Oakland's different. You don't bump into people in Oakland and don't say anything. We all come from a general culture where that's unacceptable. So people say, excuse me a lot more. It might not every time. And then you know who you're dealing with. But in San Francisco, you ain't getting no excuse me over here. And I remember I said to myself, next time somebody bumps into me and doesn't say anything, I'm just going to go off on them. I'm right outside the church. Some little Asian woman damn near knocked me off the sidewalk and kept on walking. Oh, okay. What you going to do, Rev? Preacher man? Where's your consciousness at, son? So I had to grow. That's all self-care is. The willingness to grow. And the willingness means I'm willing to put the work in. And that means I'm willing, first of all and foremost, I am going to let go of every grievance I have. This is the road to redemption, to conscience, to heaven. Whatever you have, you can't get into heaven. The Bible says, hold an ought against your brother. That's not how you get there. You can't get there by, I'm mad at so-and-so, but let me in anyway. Now, I'm not a big heaven and hell person like that, but I'm using that as a metaphor. In order for us to achieve the greatest pinnacle of our own beingness, it requires us to let go of the pettiness. And you say, no, it wasn't petty. No, it wasn't petty. But holding on to it is what's petty. Yeah. Because it can be a different outcome. The petty outcome is where the grievance is. Lord have mercy. What'd I say?
Petty outcome.
I know somebody else needed to hear that. That wasn't for me. That's a joke, phone. That's a joke. Only the smallest part of me will argue because that's the part that feels the most vulnerable. But if I can remember that my own heart is the chamber of the Most High, that my own heart is the altar of the Most High, that my beingness, we like to talk about the Spirit is in us, but I already know that I'm immersed in the Spirit. It's all around me. It's not just inside of me. And when you know, and you know that you know everything you look at, there's something to be grateful for. There's that I don't remember what, but there's the old I guess it's Hindu. The king is doing the Soham meditation, and he says that, which is the I'm that. And so, he's I'm this, I'm that. You walk around all day long identifying everything you say that's who I am. Kind of get you into the idea of oneness. I am that, I am that. So he's sitting at the beach doing his meditation. Oh, Soham, his voice is booming across the ocean, and some child walks by and sits down right next to him and starts screaming, "This is my beggar's bowl. This is my walking stick. This is my beggar's bowl. This is my walking stick." What the hell is wrong with this kid? Doesn't he know I'm the king? Okay, I'm bigger than this. I'm bigger than this. Go back to his meditation. The kid doesn't let up. And so finally the king said, "What the hell is wrong with you? Why do you keep screaming, this is my begging bowl, and this is my walking stick? Who said it wasn't your begging bowl? Who said it's not your walking stick? Why are you saying this?" He said, "Well, who told you weren't all those things that you're identifying right now? Who said you weren't those things? This is what God said to Adam and Eve in the garden. Who told you you were naked? Where did you get this idea that you were less than? It doesn't matter where you got it from. Let it go. Because the presence of the divine is always more than enough. Yes?
Yes.
Self-care is the daily acknowledgement, and not just, but the practice of imbuing our day with gratitude first. And gratitude stems from, wait a second, what?
Knowing who I am.
No, okay, gratitude stems, there's a joy that comes with gratitude, okay? It's beyond happiness. It's beyond happiness. Anybody want to go beyond happiness? See, because happiness is fleeting, yes? Same thing make you laugh or make you cry, isn't that right? Same person that you think is all good 1 minute will be all bad the next minute. Every day, every breath. What am I grateful for? I wish we still had the gratitude cafe out here, because every day they'd ask you, what are you grateful for? Waking up on the right side of the grass, you know? Indeed, waking up.
It's just a gratitude. I'm
Huh?
sorry.
Forgiving myself first.
We have the gratitude cafe right here. So we are.
Because the
That's what we're about
injury,
to have.
thank you for that, Eric. The injury causes us to resent our own being for being hurt in the first place. How did I let this happen?
Yes.
How did I let it happen? You know, how did I forget? You know what Howard Thurman says, I have forgotten how easy it is to forget. So right where you are, and just as you are, you know what? It's okay. Don't blame yourself. Don't shame yourself. Don't guilt yourself. Don't wrong yourself. Don't should yourself. Accept that it's okay. In the 5 Susan Jeffers' book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, she says the most basic fear always boils down to one thing, which fascinates me. Fear boils down to the idea that I may not survive this. Whatever you're afraid of, it's tweaking the survival mechanism, which makes us anxious. I might not survive it. She always says that you want to go with this idea that I can handle it. Just say, I can handle it. Whatever it is, I can handle it. But the I that's handling is the I and I, as the Raza talk. It's the God within me. It's the presence of the divine. That's what's handling it. Because like I said, I continuously work on getting out of the way. I'm very, very clear. I'm the reason anything is happening to me. Nobody else. Because whatever you bring to me, the consciousness within me, I'm just talking about me right now. I've been practicing this. I've been working on this every day. I've been trained, and I've trained myself to meet force with power. Force is something that might come from out there. Force is something I'm making up in my head that might be able to intimidate me. Force is the bad people. Force is the wrong thing. Force is the politics. All the things at the shadow side, all that stuff, that's the force. And we're afraid of force. We're afraid to be forced. We don't want to be forced. Man, there's a power. In knowing who I am. There's a power in knowing what I am. There's a power in knowing that, you know what? Everything this person is saying to me right now is a secret fear I've been unwilling to acknowledge up until this point. That's why you hear me say something every now and then. Angeline knows this one real good. How dare you speak that way to me? Because I know, whether you know it or not, that what you said struck me true. So I turned it into a joke, so I make it easier to deal with, you see? How are you serving your own consciousness today? What are you willing to put on the altar? You know, this idea of sacrifice, you know, and people don't like the idea of sacrifice. But you have to sacrifice the rung you're holding on to climb the ladder. You have to sacrifice this place you're standing now to move down the road. You have to sacrifice the job you hate to get the job you want. Sacrifice is not a bad thing. It just means I'm willing to exchange this for that. And what's it worth to live 100% authentically your own life? Scripture says, what would it be to gain the whole world and lose your soul? Well, there's a lot of people around doing that. And you know, some people's whole world is really, really small. It took a really bad deal. Man. So right now, we hollered out some gratitudes. It elevated the room. Everybody's in a grateful place. We want to stay in this grateful place. If we have to let go of something to stay in this grateful place, same thing. What am I going to let go of this? Because the entropy of my old consciousness will suck me right back in. It's going to cost me something. I ain't giving up nothing. Oh, you get to keep spiraling down the drain then. And I've spiraled down the drain over and over and over. Now I'm the faucet. I'm not spiraling down the drain. I'm pouring it down the drain because I'm at one with the system. See, I know I'm one with the system. Are you with me so far? Right where you are, God is working overtime on your behalf. That thing we did about angels, ancestors, about people praying, what is that? I am the answer to my ancestors' prayer. People, you know, in 1700, my ancestors prayed for a day when one of them could be doing what I'm doing right now because they couldn't do it. You see, everybody in here is a step up. Are we grateful for that? And that doesn't mean, and I'm not talking about conditional gratitude where, well, at least I'm not so-and-so, because there's always can say the same thing back to us. You know, no. It's not that, but for the grace of God go I, but because of the grace of God,
Yes.
I am all of these things. I'm not separate from any of it. And I'm walking and talking and living and breathing and having my being, knowing that I'm one. When somebody's contentious in my face, let me tell you, it takes discipline, okay? It takes discipline. And sometimes that discipline might take a while. But I'm very, very clear. You are not my enemy. I don't have any enemies. Because whatever you think about me, I know you are the presence of the divine in my life. You could not be anything else. But just because I don't want the gold in the mine doesn't mean the mine's not valuable. You ever getting rid of somebody who you thought was trash and then somebody else picks them up and they're just as happy as they can be and you can't understand it? What is wrong with this person? Don't they know what a low down, dirty, no good this person is? Struck home on that one. How dare you be happy with somebody else? So I'd like us to make a commitment to figure out some kind of way. You know, one thing you can do, self-care is also about getting involved with something bigger than yourself. Because when you get involved with something bigger than yourself, you let go of the parameters of your own being and accept a grander idea of who you are. Now I'm no longer that limited self that thinks I'm poor, lonely me, poor, pitiful me, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. This is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. I walked into a religious science center and they said, you are one with God. I felt welcome. They hugged me, man. I wasn't used to being hugged. I didn't know what to do at first. But I liked it. And I kept coming back. And it keeps me going because I realized touch stimulates my gratitude. And I'm glad we still do that. Make contact with somebody, talk to them. If you need to get something off your chest, get it off your chest. You want to talk to a practitioner, a therapist, whatever you need to do, but also get involved. If politics is your thing, get involved. If you're looking for a place to do some sacred service, we have some sacred service work for you. And you can immerse yourself in the consciousness of the one and do something wonderful for the community and be enriched all at the same time. And that's the horse I rode in. I was so grateful to be among people who could see me when I couldn't see myself. We went on a work, I'm gonna stop. We went on a workshop once, I'd never been on these spiritual retreats. Ernie's trying to get us to go to a deeper level of ourselves. And so he's talking, he wants us to write a eulogy, I guess it is, for you got to write one for everybody in the group. It's about 20 of us. Everybody's writing all these wonderful flowing things about everybody. Oh man, it was beautiful. Yo, minister, I'm writing tragic deaths for everybody in the room. I got 20 tragic deaths here. And when I read everybody's, I'm hearing everybody realize, oh my God, now I'm ashamed. Now I'm embarrassed. I don't want to read mine. I don't want them to see this. I don't want them to know just how messed up I really am. Because that's when I got the stark contrast of where I was at in consciousness.
Yeah.
The teacher was wise enough to say, no, Muata, you have to read that. Because he wanted me to own where I was. Because if I don't own where I am, I can't get past it.
Yeah.
I'll keep denying it's there and denying it's me. If this coat fits you, it's okay. It's universal. And everybody was so gracious and so kind. And I'm just going to say, and the matter of fact, and I'm on my about 28, 29, and most of these are like elderly white people. So I'm really embarrassed because this is a different, you know, it's like, and they were so loving. And now I'm loving because of embrace. So embrace somebody. And if you can't think of anybody to embrace, just stand in the mirror. I love myself so much. You are so good, Muata. You are so awesome. Dude, you're amazing. Man, I just love the way you keep stepping up. I love the way you keep stepping. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You gotta give yourself something because nobody else can. But everybody's bringing it to us. Everybody's bringing us a gift if we're willing to be in consciousness and practice the presence of the divine. That's what self-care is. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. God bless us.
Thank you.
Love lifted me, love
Boy, this might be record attendance for the last several years.
Yeah, well, since
no,
the
I'm
pandemic,
not.
for sure.
Well, wow, amazing.
Anybody else been lifted up by love? Okay, okay, so I'm in the right room, right? Oh yeah. And it keeps on lifting. It keeps on lifting. So we're going to our time of sharing. Thank you for being present up until now, and continuing live streamers. Thank you. This time we share from our treasure, our talent, and our what is it? Tithe, talent, and treasure. That's what I'm trying to say. T2T. It's supposed to be 4 T's. Anyway, it's just about acknowledging that this is something useful, and this is a consciousness that's sweeping the globe. I mean, it's like a wildfire. I can tell you, Reverend is starting a study group in Cape Coast, Ghana, right up there with the slave dungeons. Okay, because she said this place needs some consciousness. She said, Reverend Muata, how can I teach a prosperity consciousness to people so poor? I said, I don't know, Reverend. God didn't give me that charge. I'm glad I'm in San Francisco. Because if everybody gets the assignment they get, just know that this is a global movement. This is about teaching everyone who's willing to listen that right where they are and just as they are, they matter. Their consciousness makes a difference. Our consciousness makes a difference. And so if you can repeat after me, and I don't even see our program up here, which means, oh yes, I do. Okay. I'm just gonna hold it before I embarrass myself again. Please repeat after me. From a consciousness of abundance.
More cautious of
And
abundance
centered in gratitude.
and centered in gratitude.
I generously give.
I generously give.
I accept the gifts of prosperity and abundance.
I accept the gifts of prosperity and abundance
As I demonstrate divine circulation in my life. In gratitude, I freely give. In joyful acceptance, I freely receive.
I freely receive.
And so it is. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. Listen to those beautiful voices. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. acapella ending there. What a choir we, that sounded beautiful.
Man,
Wow.
it's just beautiful. It's, man, I love this job. I'm so glad God cut that tree down. Yes, please know if you give an electronic, it's at Zelle or PayPal, it's give@sfcsl.org. That's give@sfcsl.org. And be prepared to make total commitment, people, when you make that leap, because sometimes it looks dark. When I got eventually released, I figured I'd just draw unemployment. You know, till I figured out what I was going to. I figured out how to do ministry. But when I went down there were a few questions on the application that ran counter to principle as I knew it. Like, do you want to work? They got me. Well, I might be able to get past. Well, sure I do. Okay. If we find work, will you take it? Damn. There's a few of those, and so I didn't even get that. And I was just cast adrift. And it's like consciousness has to be present in order for me to advance. And it worked out. It works out. Everybody who's a success made a leap of faith. That's self-care. I don't know, like my old preacher said about his church. He said, I might not have the money to build a new church, but I do have the money to tear this one down. And that's what he did. And you have to be willing to let go of the old paradigm. We have to be, I have to be. That's the only way to introduce and so the new one. So thank you for this offering, knowing that each one is given from the depths of who and what they are, that the heart, spirit, soul, mind, body, efforts, everything that caused to make this so is all about the gratitude of the divine presence in and through and as. And each one of us is welcoming the walking, talking, living, breathing divine presence and all we think, say, and do. And this is a symbolic gesture of that gratitude. For this, I too am grateful. And so it is. So, of course.
Of course.
I never know. Okay. Before. Thank you. Oh, I got to do this every week. I think I'm going to go to church so I can just stand up and be applauded. Before I move into the prayer, I want to say, because you asked the question, I don't know how Reverend E is going to teach abundance or prosperity to people who are that poor. And this is what I want to say about it. Same way you teach it in San Francisco, because there's nothing about Ghana that has any difference. If you believe you don't have enough, you can be anywhere in the world and believe that. So it's always about teaching liberation, liberating your mind, liberating your spirit, and then the abundance follows. So that's what I want to say about free your minds and the rest will follow. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. And with that beauty, I invite us all to turn within to that place in consciousness that I call the seat of the soul, following the very breath, this singular breath. And as I speak this word of truth, I speak in first person, I speak in present tense, for truly there is only one. And so as we hear the words I and me or mine, please know that it is every single living being. So holding right now within the mind and the heart, anyone and any circumstance, that we are turning over this moment to the deep and abiding knowledge that there is one life, one eternal giving presence, that which we call the divine creator, which has ordered the universe, which has raised every mountain, rooted every tree, that which causes all waters to flow. This one divine presence, having loved itself into existence as the life of each and every one. My very breath is a witness to the truth that there is always this presence breathing me, and I feel my heart beating in full synchronicity to the rhythm, to the flow of life itself. One life, one life, one love, my life, my love. And I stand in this truth, knowing that everything that appears unlike this truth, every circumstance in which I find myself, is an expression of God, brought forth through my very consciousness to lift me up, to inform my spirit, and I embrace it fully and completely, knowing and accepting that I am not separate from anything and anyone. And so all of my relationships are spirit to spirit, in harmony, in truth. That I draw from a wellspring of infinite good, and that abundance is my birthright, as I am sourced by God. I know that the health and vitality of my spirit is out picturing in my body temple, that every atom, every tissue, every fiber and function of my being is alive with the healing presence of the divine. And that love guides my way, that love illumines my steps, and that gratitude is always present in my heart, in my words, in my mind, in my actions, in my deeds. And that gratitude is my anchor to peace, to an abiding peace. And that peace is expressed as joy. And so I am so grateful for this truth. I am so grateful for the presence of God as the existence of my very life. And in this thanksgiving, in this gratitude, I surrender. I surrender. I surrender myself and this word to the immutable law of perfect manifestation. And I trust that as it has been spoken, so it is. As one resounding voice in the singular breath of God, I declare, and so it is, and Ashe, and Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Announcements?
Mhm.
Well, first one, I heard you, John, say that we got Gratitude Cafe right here, right?
Yes.
I think I heard you say
I
that.
did say.
So Michelle Stivers, I know I'm grateful for Michelle. Michelle Stivers is in the kitchen. She has been busy preparing fellowship for us to celebrate. She's been in there Michelleing, and she's been out here Michelleing too.
And Alicia too is helping.
And Alicia is also in there too. Alicia
Alicia.
is also in the kitchen as well. Grateful for her as well. Thank you. So they are in the kitchen preparing a fellowship for all of us. We'll move the chairs, we'll bring out some tables, and we're going to party together. So it is a celebration just because. Don't need another reason, but we do have another reason. Which is Reverend Muata, as he mentioned, turned 70 the other day.
I couldn't have done it without you.
I will tell you, we have 5 children between the two of us, and our oldest son came the other day, and I was reminding him that it was Reverend Muata's birthday, and my sons call him Pops. And so he's starting to walk down the walkway, and I'm going to give you guys a polite version because I say, hey, and by the way, he's 70. And he turns around and he goes, this is the polite version. He goes, dang, Pop is old. And he followed it with some expletives. But so, and I told him, and he's like, yeah, I kind of am. So it's all relative, because I guess when you're in your 80s and 90s, and you guys celebrated 100, right? Somebody was 100 recently. Yeah, then 70 is like,
Just
that sounded like love in that kitchen. Then yeah, you're a youngster. right? So we are celebrating, and I know there are probably some other announcements. Are there? Yes,
Go for it.
yes, go for it.
So this is amazing. I love
Yeah.
these beautiful faces. Reverend Muata, we are honored today to celebrate you and your birthday. Today is the day we officially gift the mural in the garden
Yay.
to you
To us.
and to us.
Got a great picture of your backside.
The mural was inspired by you and the center and all of you. And special thanks to Linda and Jeffrey for the beautiful garden that was or is this jumping off point for the mural. I think all of us who worked on the mural, who have inspired those of us who have been working on the mural, that it's not done. We'll look forward to an official dedication this summer. We hope to have it done today. I hope to have it done today, but we had weather got in the way and my own crazy travel and work schedule. But today's the day that we celebrate you for so many reasons. Your 70th trip around the sun. And I think what all of us share is this love of this community, love of service, love of your service and your gifts that you share with us so generously all the time. How much these are effective. Help us go out and be better stewards of kindness and love in this world. So for all of that, for everything you do, happy birthday. The mural is for you.
Aww. That's beautiful.
Yeah, you can see this. I'm like, that was laid on thick right there. And I'm
That's
wondering, what is
beautiful.
it that's causing me to shy away, to be embarrassed, to like, it's like, what is that about? Just soak it up, just enjoy it. Because thank you, man, thank you. I'm humbled. That's what it is. I'm humbled. I'm not used to this, people. Thank you. I'll be right back. Thank you.
I want to say something about Patrick and Eric and then thanking lots of people. I know you want to do thank yous. This is how Spirit works. The very first day that Patrick and Eric came to our center, I think somebody was making announcements and Reverend Muata said, well, we really need somebody to be able to do the sound or will help and the audio visual. And Patrick, then he's like, well, I did that at my previous center. I'm happy to do that and step up. And then someone else said, and we're really wanting to beautify, I think you did, Linda, the back garden and do some art on the wall back there. And so then Eric's like, oh, I did art and I can do that. And so the two of them on the very first day, and what you need to know is that they had recently arrived back in the Bay from Paris. And so then they were like, okay, well, we just want to serve. So that was God. Like, God just being
No
like,
doubt.
hey, you know. Speaking of that, there are so many people here who serve. I see Gabriella is in the back holding vigil. She and I and Beth is here, are available at the close of this if you're wanting individual prayer. We are more than happy, actually very grateful to be able to pray with anybody who is wanting to receive that prayer. And then gratitude.
Oh, of course.
You're going to try and name everybody in Moana? No.
Not today.
No,
I'll give it a first, but no, you know what?
That's
Because
too
I know
much.
folks want to go eat. We've been here
Yes.
long enough. See, I mean, just I can smell chicken,
Don't
you
you?
know. So, but just, you know, Dr. John Meredith, Patrick, of course, Gabriella sitting vigil is always a pleasure. Everybody in the back.
Cynthia shows up. Right on cue.
Cindy's here.
Right on
Cindy's
cue.
here.
All right,
Another
Fran
practitioner
too.
available.
So just everybody, okay? If I don't call your name, just know we're grateful for you. Classes are going to be starting up in September. I'm just with the Levita, you know, my first wife passed away on my birthday. which is really a trip. Because like, I will remember her forever.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I said, if I could give Lvita a high five right now, I would, because she's like, you will not forget me.
Well, you're gonna remember me. And it's true. But just, so much stuff going. I'm just gonna give myself some kisses because I'm trying to race. And that's why it's not happening, Daniel, because I need self-care. I know you get it. I'm the one who didn't get it. So thank you. And just each and every one, live streamers, please know that you're loved. Please know that you're blessed. Please know that right where you are and just as you are, there's a power and a presence that rests and abides and reigns supreme. And it's you. And we leave here today with a divine understanding. Please repeat that to me because people ask to learn this. I usually just say it, but
We're not there yet.
we're not there yet.
We're not. We have another
Well,
song to do.
Thank you.
Well,
Yes. Thank you, John. I will allow it.
So generous.
Yeah, I love
how
to say
generous
that.
of you.
It's one of my favorites. When it's obvious, you can just say, I will allow it. Give myself a little
He likes
extra.
to say that to me. I shall allow it. Okay. I shall allow it.
So, Spirit told me that I am to read this. And then, when Pierre Angeli started speaking, and I thought, well, maybe I'm not supposed to read this. And then Spirit said, excuse me. No.
Told you to read it.
I'm supposed to read it. Because that's what I said. So I'm sure some of you have heard this. It's just a small paragraph that is very profound. And it was written by Marianne Williamson. And it's her first little paragraph. Very profound. And she says, our deepest fear is that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Marianne Williamson, and she said this at the Nelson Mandela 1994 inaugural address. So Spirit told me that y'all needed to hear that. We all need to hear that. So thank you, Spirit. There is an I in we.
I love myself the way I am.
Okay. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing that I need to change. I'll always be perfect to me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you the way you are. There's nothing that you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love each one of you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world just the way, 'cause I can clearly see that all those things that I judge are done by people just like me. So until the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I will help it grow by loving everything. John Steiner. I love myself just the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come from here. Deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love myself. And I love you. I love myself just the way I am.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, once again, Dr. John and Meredith, I need to make sure I catch up on my gratitude because Eve and Robin, thank you. I would have got it. And Robin stepped up in a big way so we could communicate with each other better. And just so very, very grateful. And good to see you again. It took me a minute. I was like, is that? No, couldn't be. It looks like, no, it couldn't be. So thank you each and every one. Please repeat. Yes.
Just Linda, Jeff, Dr. Jeff,
Wait.
Linda.
Linda, and we're ready to go. God
Okay.
bless. Folks want to eat. Yeah. So everybody be blessed. Please know that as we leave here with the divine understanding that there's oneness and truth in each and every one in all things. So steeped in the awareness of truth are we that we're absolutely certain that right where we are, and just as we are, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects and watches over us, while the wisdom of God guides and directs us, and the substance of God supplies, supports, and sustains us. That wherever we are, wherever we go, whatever we think, whatever we do, whatever we say, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Thank you.